If you're scrolling trying to find the perfect yeast roll recipe for Thanksgiving, scroll no more, I've got you covered. I've been making these for years and they come out perfect every single time. These are actually made from the same recipe as my viral sandwich bread, which I'll show you how to make that as well. But yeah, friends, I got you covered. Let me show you how to make it. Start with 2 cups of water that's just warm to the touch, and then add in a 1/4 cup of honey. You can also do 1 or 2 tablespoons of sugar if you like. I'm using 1 packet of dry active yeast, which is about 2 1/4 teaspoon. Mix that in and let it sit for 10 minutes. If yours does not get bubbly like this, start this process over. You could have a bad batch of yeast. Then pour in 2 tablespoons of melted butter and then 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Give it a mix. Now I'm adding 4 1/2 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm using unbleached. I'm doing this in my KitchenAid, but feel free to do it by hand if you like. As this is mixing, you'll add another 1/2 cup to 1.5 cups of flour just till it's not sticky, and I let it knead for at least 8 minutes. Once that's done, I'm gonna kind of ball it up and put it into a grease pan and keep it somewhere warm. For me, that is in my oven with the oven light on. Nothing else is on in the oven. Here it is after 2 hours, and as always, smack that shit down. I'm going to divide my dough into 2. You can either do 2 loaves of bread or do what I'm doing and do 1 loaf of bread and then 8 yeast rolls. For my loaf of bread, I'm going to flatten it to a rectangle so that I can then roll it up, and then I'm going to tuck in each of the ends. I've already got my loaf pan all buttered up, and then I'm just going to set my bread right in there. For the yeast rolls, I divided the remaining dough into 8 sections, which I'm going to roll up into little balls. And you can see like the little flower formation I put it on. So I'm going to put them back in their warm place for an hour to rise again. Here they are. Here they are, ready to go in the oven, looking puffed and beautiful. I'm going to bake at 350 Fahrenheit. The yeast rolls are going to go for 20 minutes, and the loaf of bread is going to go for 30 minutes. So here's my rolls. When they come out, I like to brush the top with some melted butter. And I don't know, even though this and the sandwich loaf is literally made from the same batch, something about yeast rolls just hits different. These always come out so big and fluffy. They were really hot. They smell amazing, and they really go so well with like a nice big dinner. And now it's been 30 minutes. I'm taking my loaf of bread out of the oven. Now this one, before you cut into it, please do let it cool all the way. I just immediately take it out of the pan and straight to a cooling rack until it cools completely, because it will kind of finish cooking even though it's out of the oven. Now that mine is cooled, I can finally cut into it. A lot of you guys suggested cutting it on its side, and yeah, I can see what you're saying. This is a lot easier. And here it is. Look, beautiful. I just can't tell you how much I love this recipe. It comes out amazing every single time. If someone were to ask me what's been my like most viral and recreated recipe, it has to be this one. And honestly, for good reason. I probably have dozens of you every day tagging me in your recreations, and I'm so glad that you found this.